Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. You know, I was looking at the truck this morning. It's actually morning when I filmed this, and it's sitting out here right now with the morning dew all over it in a kind of subdued lighting situation. And I was thinking, you know, this truck really does look tough. And that's what I was going for, an aggressive, tough-looking truck. And I got to thinking, you know, of everything that I've done to it, there are really only 5 ingredients, 5 things that you need to do to end up with a really tough-looking Toyota Tacoma. So I made a little bit of a list. I thought I'd run through that because, frankly, when I was first starting out modding the truck, trying to come up with something that would attain what I wanted, there wasn't a lot of stuff out there. I mean, there is a lot of stuff, but nothing all put in one place. So let's run through it. Of course, this is my opinion. Number 1 is the window tint. I think that's one of the most aggressive things you can do to the Toyota Tacoma right off the bat. It makes it look good, it gives it a more aggressive look, and it's also functional. Of course, it cuts down on the sun, protects the interior, and keeps it a little bit cooler inside, particularly if you live in a hot climate like I do down here in South Texas. Number 2, a level lift. You know, I've had 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, different lifts on my Tacomas in the past, and this is the best one that I've had so far for looks. It just gives it a more aggressive level look, and you don't have to spend a fortune to do it. For about $600 installed, you can have it done. I raised the front about 1 3/4 inches, and that gives me a level lift all throughout the truck. Nothing done in the back, it's just stock. Pretty simple to do, and by the way, they are the Bilstein adjustable shocks. You have 3 or 4 different settings you can go with, depending on the look that you're trying to achieve. Number 3, wheels and tires. You know, one of the most predominant things that you see when you look at the truck, particularly on mine, are the wheels and tires. I've gone with a little bit bigger tire and a 16-inch wheel. Now, I did step out of my comfort zone a little bit when I went with these wheels. I went with bronze, and I think bronze, in the end, looks really good. Typically, I go with black. I have black on everything else, but I decided, you know, we're going to try something a little different on this truck, and it really works well, particularly with darker colors, with the magnetic gray metallic, black, even with white, red, blue. It really goes well on any colored Toyota Tacoma. I think it's just a good, tough, aggressive, if not a little bit different look for the truck. Number 4, the old standby, the TRD Pro or Heritage Grille. You know, I've gone back and forth. When I first got my 2020 Tacoma, I thought I might leave the grille that it came with on it because they had changed the grille a little bit, and honestly, it was a pretty good looking grille. But the more I had it, I thought, you know, that TRD Pro is really hard to beat when it comes to the grille. It's just a more aggressive looking grille for the front end. I think it's the perfect setup for the Tacoma, and there are a lot of options out there. There's all kinds of aftermarket things you can do with words and sayings and stuff, but I think the TRD Pro Grille is the best if you're trying to achieve a more aggressive, tough look for the Toyota Tacoma. Number 5, one that I did just recently, and that is the Highline front bumper, the bumper by Body Armor. That thing is too cool. You know, I've seen and I looked at a lot of different bumpers for the truck, and they always looked aftermarket to me. The Body Armor Highline Grille is integrated in such a way in that little front end area that I think it looks almost OEM on the truck, and I like that. It looks like it came that way. The aggressive look of it, you can't beat it. With that little bar across the top, I think it's too cool. It's also functional. It's a steel bumper, gives you more protection, And you can also put a winch in it if you want to. Number 6, this is going to be a bonus. It's like a little spice on top of the Tacoma cake. And I'm talking about the Sport Bar. You know, I went back and forth before I ever did the Sport Bar, and I have to say, I really love it on the truck. If you look at the truck, I think it just looks awesome back there. And it's tied in, and that's one thing that you want to make sure you're doing when you're modding your truck, is that you tie everything in. And by that, I mean, number 1, it's black. And number 2, it goes with, or the Highline bumper goes with it, because it has that tubular bar on the front. Of course, the Sport Bar itself is tubular as well. Oh, look at that. We've provided a habitat for a spider. But anyway, I think it looks pretty cool on the truck. I've also highlighted the name in here, which I think is another neat touch. You can leave that off. You can do a different color. You can do black if you want, so it kind of blends in. Now, functionally, does give you a little bit more predominant LED stop or third brake light back there. And then you can also add lights on top if you want. Something that I may do in the future, not quite sure yet. And then of course, with an upcoming mod, and this is not part of my list, but it should look pretty cool on the truck anyway, is the Prinsu roof rack. I am gonna be replacing the OEM roof rack that I have up there. Nothing wrong with it. I do think it looks good on the truck, but I think the Prinsu roof rack will give it even a more aggressive, tougher look. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, kind of put everything in one place. There's really only 5 ingredients, 5 things that you need to end up with a pretty tough looking, awesome Toyota Tacoma. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Am I missing something? Could it be even more awesome? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator, and Mod Driven, a recent name change to the channel, all about project cars, currently the Mercedes-Benz C300. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, make sure you smash the subscribe button on this channel too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.